Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Faith. This is Faith's Philosophy. I get on here and I talk occasionally to myself. So if you like that type of content, then hop on. I rant, talk about a bunch of different things. I include that in the bio. But yes, today I'm going off the dome. I ain't feel like writing shit down, and plus, it's a charged topic for me. I would say charged because I feel like I'm gonna get a little passionate. That's why I was like, I'm not even gonna write nothing down because I already know how I am. And when I go in, I go in. And so today we're gonna talk about Miss Sexy Red. And I had to put on my red lipstick because, it's a theme. And so, child, I don't even know where to start if I'm being honest. It's so much going on. And so, if you don't know who Sexy Red is, I doubt you don't know who Sexy Red is. You wouldn't have clicked on this video if you didn't know who Sexy Red was. But Sexy Red is a new up and coming female rap artist. She's been, going all through the internet for a variety of different reasons. Whether it's, I think it was a picture of her coochie or something out here, and a penis, something involved, and fighting with a girl over Chief Keef. I guess a lot of stuff. But I feel like the most things that I've been seeing about Sexy Red is her music and how vulgar it is and how it's influencing the younger generation. Okay, and so before I give y'all my opinion on Sexy Red, let's go over a few things. First, let's talk about rap history.
You listen to this music. How do you get away with that in the house? I listen to it on the Walkman. On the Walkman? On the Walkman. And why are you crying? Because you're so happy to be in front of Lil' Kim. That's how much she loves you, Lil' Kim. I love you too. Now, Chanel, some people are concerned. What would your mommy do if she knew you were listening to words like that? But she wouldn't let me listen to it because it has so much cursing and stuff in it. So let me ask you, a nice little girl like you, what you doing listening to music like that? How would you answer that? I like it. You like it? How do you help little 12-year-olds like this understand that the music that they're listening to should not affect their lives? We're concerned about 12-year-olds singing about sex like this. So what do you say, Lil' Kim? I definitely think that Chanel is too young, but mostly I think that she listens to it for the sound.
I feel like as a society, we like to take a figurehead. And so maybe that's the president. We've heard the president be referred to as a figurehead. So Sexy Red for president. Sexy Red is the figurehead of this dame currently. In the past it was probably Trina. In the past it was probably what's her name? Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, all of them. In the past it was Lil' Kim. So like it's a thing that continues to happen. And so with Sexy Red, let's start there. Let's start with the content that's in her music. Now, a lot of people, don't like this. A lot of conservatives are talking about it, and I'm just like, look, she's not the first to do it, so quit acting like this is a brand new thing. And I feel like that squares that away right there. She's not the first to do it. Two, let's talk about the Black community, because I feel like when this type of, let's just call it a product, when this type of product comes from the Black community, a lot of Black people show a lot of, disdain for it and discontent. People don't like it. They feel like it's a bad look on Black women, a bad look for, people's children that's singing it. And to address the children, well, not to address the children, to address the parents. Let's make it about that. Let's address the parents, because I feel like the biggest issue for me is that people are coming for Sexy Red instead of coming for these parents. Because at the end of the day, like I said, Sexy Red is not the first person to make this type of music. And so this type of music has gone on for generations and generations. And so whoever's letting their children sing along, dance, that's their prerogative and that's their business. And at the end of the day, these children are going to grow into adults that hopefully will have their own minds to make different decisions. If that type of behavior is not something that they like or they don't want to do anymore, they won't. And because I'm not here to talk about nobody's parenting. I don't have no kids. Thank God. I don't have no kids. Hell, I'm a lesbian, so that's something I'm going to plan thoroughly. I'm gonna plan that thoroughly. So kids are something that I just definitely don't like to touch on because, parenting is very difficult. It's very hard. And a lot of the times you can't necessarily control what your kids get their hands on, because kids will be kids. They have their own little social lives outside of their parents. And so But mainly the issue is these videos have been popping up with these little girls singing Sexyy Red going to schools. Now, I don't understand why Sexyy Red is at schools. I don't. I mean, unless she's talking about safe sex, maybe, but I don't know. But the main point that I'm trying to drive with this first little comment is that one, Sexyy Red is not the first person to make this type of music that is influencing the Black community, and two, she's not responsible for anybody's children. This I literally have a song on my phone from like the 1920s. What's her name? I don't know what her name is, but it's called "Till the Cows Come Home." Look it up. I love that song. It is vulgar, it is nasty, but it is part of female liberation. And so, see, I'm already getting into my bag right now. And so, those are just my foreshadowing comments about what we're really about to get into, and that is systemic issues. Dun dun dun. Like the biggest issue, in my opinion, was Sexyy Red, and what's really underlining this thing. Since we know that she's not the first person to do it. Let me get closer so y'all can hear me when I say this, and I'm gonna touch your hand. I'm gonna touch your hand when I say this. Y'all don't like poor people, specifically poor Black people. Y'all don't like poor people. And if you agree, just, whisper back to me, and, I can hear you. I could totally hear you. You say what? Oh, okay. Y'all don't like Black people. Y'all don't like poor Black people specifically. Blackness is not respectable. And I'm not going to get into too much respectability politics, because that'll really make me throw this synthetic wig across the room and take these lashes off and go and get to fighting and get to swinging. Because that type of jump really get on my nerves. Respectability politics, miss me with it. And there's so many intersectionalities that Sexyy Red faces being in the music industry and being an artist who makes the type of music that she makes. Give me a second, child, because I'm fired up. Okay. So let's start with the poverty intersection. So poverty, if y'all don't know what poverty is, please look it up. I'm pretty sure y'all know what poverty is. But for those who did not come from poverty, did not live around poverty, a lot of the times they don't understand the norms that are centered in poverty and how poverty impacts the building of these norms and why these norms exist for poor Black people. Sexyy Red came from a poor background. This is the information that I read about her or saw in a video, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But from what I understand, she come from St. Louis, a poor part of St. Louis, and she was a hairstylist, and she built her way up into being able to be self-sufficient. I think she had kids or whatever, and a baby daddy went to jail or some shit. But that's her story, and so she built herself up as a entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and then she just ventured off into rap because somebody told her she would sound good, and so she did it. And so I think that the way poverty plays into this is Sexyy Red's aesthetic. Okay, and so when we think about what's a good example I can give? Lately, I've been seeing these videos about what's classy, what's not classy, and basically what's respectable. And so, as Black Americans, I feel like we really need to question ourselves. And I'm talking to Black Americans here. When I say Black Americans, I mean descendants of slaves. Of course, Jamaicans, Haitians, all of them are included in the Black diaspora. But right now, I'm talking about Black Americans, people who parents were born here due to slavery. And so the culture that we have has been handcrafted and shaped around, white supremacy culture in America. And a lot of that we've been trying to unravel. I mean, hell, all the movements for Black people to have the freedoms that they have today in America, and for other people that are now being grouped into the Black diaspora, for them to be able to, immigrate over here and be a part of the American experience. Now, I don't want to get too far off into history about how ghettos were formed for Black Americans and why Black Americans have a difficult time navigating the economic and societal systems that are in place against us. This is called systemic oppression, systemic racism. Those things exist. And so with Sexyy Red being a product of poverty and wearing the aesthetic of poverty that a lot of y'all faves like to put on and take off, she's actually hood, she's actually from that life. And from as a person who is from that life, I didn't do the things, but I was around it. And it shaped me as an individual. And a lot of the things that I experienced coming into college as someone from poverty and Black, those two intersect, and they intersect in the most in the most messed up way, because it's like you're already Black and then on top of that you're poor. Like it's a whole nother ball game. And I feel like a lot of the times, the main people that we see talking about Sexyy Red and critiquing her in the way that they do are most likely people who not from that walk of life. And we're not even talking about a different ethnicity or a different race, but we're talking about Black people. When Black people critique Sexyy Red, I'm pretty sure a lot of them aren't from that walk of life. And if they are, they have internalized these respectability politics that's pushed by a lot of our Black political thought. It's driven by a lot of Black political thought. And when I say that, I'm talking about Dr. Umar, Farrakhan, people like that. They push these respectability politics that are rooted in white supremacy. And that's the thing that upsets me, because I really want any Black person watching this to ask yourself, like, they say these hoops are not classy. What is classiness based off of for us as Black people? What is classiness based off of? And all these people talking about respectability, and respecting ourselves more and changing the people are the problem. It's not the people, it's the systemic issues that follow us. And so, kind of going back into poverty, Black people are in poverty and impoverished because of a lot of the systems that have worked against us in trying to socially climb and have upward social mobility. If you can look back on all the massacres over the years after slavery, when Black people were building their homes, and a lot of conservatives like to talk about the nuclear family and all of that stuff, and how that contributed, and the loss of that contributes to the economic issues that we have, and while Black women are leaders of the household. Like it's a whole lot of stuff mixed up in it. Okay, but specifically for Sexyy Red, I feel like the main issue is that people aren't used to seeing the hood aesthetic on an actual Black person. And when I say, let me not put it like that, on a dark-skinned Black person, on a dark skin. Please tell me how Lotto is any different from what Sexyy Red be talking about. Please tell me how Ice Spice is any different from what Sexyy Red be talking about. Please tell me how any of those other light-skinned rappers that y'all see are different from what Sexyy Red is doing. What are they different? What are the differences in what they're saying? How and you know what? One difference I can give y'all is how the light-skinned women in the rap game carry themselves. Sexyy Red, it seems like she is 100% who she is all the time, everywhere. But Lotto can get in a song and put on this thick Atlanta accent when she really not from that area, from what I heard, and also get the princess treatment because of beauty privileges and the standard of beauty that is also rooted in white supremacy.
I help but notice how Mulatto's career has evolved, and how she has removed herself from the POV of a two-parent household in the suburbs in Clayton County, with an image and likeness of her mother as a white woman, to now being Big Lotto, grilled out, cornrows, hanging with shooters, dating all the hood stars, and making a name for herself.
So the lighter your skin is as an African American, or Black American, the more privilege you're gonna have in access to things that are normally only garnered for people who are whites in America. So I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, they should go with the white man, they should go with the white man. But it's not the white people, it's white supremacy. That is a system. And I know it's a lot of white people out here that aren't racist, that don't think of themselves to be greater or superior to another race. But there are some Black people that do. And so I just really want to stress that point. It's some Black people that do, and a lot of the times those Black people are the ones pushing the respectability politics. Don't go outside in your bonnet. Look like you got some respect for yourself. First of all, how you gonna tell me as a grown woman what I could be wearing on my head and what I could be doing? Wearing my bonnet doesn't make me any less of a scientist that I am becoming. Like, I wear my bonnet outside, especially if I don't feel like throwing on a wig or doing my hair. Oh, I have to leave that bonnet on and go do what I need to do. Because anybody's going to tell me how I need to look outside. And so I just want y'all to understand where these type of norms come from for us. Because if we don't understand it, nobody's saying you can't do what you want to do. If, by all means, if you got the energy every day to do a little something to your hair before you leave and not leave outside in your bonnet, don't do that if that's not something you do. But if you want to do it, you should not be shamed for that. And that's the problem. I feel like the fact that Black people have been under the thumb of white supremacy for so long, they've begun to internalize whiteness as something to aspire to, instead of aspiring to be Black and aspiring to be whatever Blackness is for them. Because whiteness, Blackness, whatever, it's going to be different for everybody. Nobody's saying you got to look like Sexyy Red to be Black. That's Sexyy Red. That's who Sexyy Red is. But if you're a Black woman and you have certain standards for yourself, then have that. But why are you shaming somebody else? Oh, it goes back to that point. Y'all don't like to see poor people, because a lot of the times, a lot of respectability politics come from Black elitism. And so a lot of Black people like myself, well, not like myself because I got to college, but some Black people don't have the privilege of going to college. I almost didn't have the privilege. I got accepted into Spelman, but we couldn't afford it, so I had to go to another school. So those types of things. And Spelman is one of those elite colleges for elite Black people, showing Black excellence. Like these things are prevalent in our community because we are trying to socially climb. And in order to socially climb, you got to play the game. But at the same time, respectability politics are harmful for people that are coming out of a place of poverty. These are their norms. These are the things that they're used to. And y'all are telling them to be ashamed of it. Be ashamed of who you are. Be ashamed of where you come from until you change and be closer to whiteness. That's basically what y'all telling us. And so if you're not telling us that in order to be respectable is to be more white or have more white-like qualities, or aspire to the ways white people are, their language, all of that, because I hear a lot of people talking about AAVE is not a language. I'm not here to argue whether it's a language or not, but people speak it and we understand it. And so to shame that and to say y'all sound dumb, y'all sound the R word, like, and to say all of that, like, that is so much internalized racism that people don't even realize that they have. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times how you speak has a lot to do with the resources you were afforded. And that's not to say everybody that is Black and in poverty is the way Sexyy Red is. Not everybody. I know a lot of ghetto fabulous people. And so at the end of the day, I know there's somebody's grandma that's forcing them to read every day, make sure that they have proper language to succeed. And to not make a fool of themselves and to be respectful as a Black person in America. Yeah, I know it's somebody's grandma or somebody's mama that's teaching them that way if they're living in the hood. And I feel like that's not an issue, but the issue is when we shame people for just being who they are and being what the environment molded them to be. Let me calm down. Because I'm there, y'all. Okay, so talked about poverty, talked about the intersectionality of poverty and Blackness, and now I want to get into, guess what? It's an F word. It's an F word. Can y'all guess the F word? It has something to do with women. That's a hint. Feminism. Let's get into feminism. And so, Lord Jesus, feminism is something that I love. I feel like it is taken by more conservative individuals, and it's seen as a way for women to demasculate men. I hope I said that right, demasculate men and all of that stuff. That's not what it is. Sexyy Red's music is feminism. Shoot me. If you're mad about it, I said it. Sexyy Red music is feminism. Feminism down. It's feminism down. Not saying that she makes the best points in all her music. Not saying because I feel like people are like, oh, she said this in a song. Look, I don't listen to all of Sexyy Red's music. I do listen to some of them. Some of them are bops. And it's just fun. It's just fun. And I feel like, why is there such an issue when women talk about what we want to do with our bodies? What we want to put in our bodies, what we want to suck on, whatever we want to do. Why is that a problem? Why is it so disgusting and nasty? But the men in gangster rap, whatever they call it, they've been doing that for I don't know how long. Talking about who they doing and whoop-de-whoop. So like, I don't understand why Sexyy Red's music is so offensive. It's so offensive. She is a Black woman. She should have more respect for herself. Black women need to stand up and be better. they need to take their bonnets off in the airport. They need to da-da-da-da-da. Black women, black women, black women. Like, ugh, like that is so annoying. Can black women just be, everybody's already jocking us, everybody's already appropriating, everybody's already, they take and take and take and take from black women. And the only thing that they give us is credit for probably being the most educated. And you know, and being the strong women that we are. But at the same time, that negative stereotype really affects black women, especially me. I had to learn to see through my pride and ask for help because I was told like I had to be strong. As a kid, I was asked, "Are you scared? You scared? You scared?" Like literally, like yes, I'm scared. Like let's normalize being afraid in the black community. I feel like that shit is not normalized. If you show any sign of fear, oh now you a punk or da 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 da. Like no, baby, I'm scared and I'm gonna back off and I'm gonna go do what I need to do. And so I'm trying to live. And so when we think about all of these issues that impact us as Black Americans, I just really wanted this video to serve as kind of like a message about the psychology that backs the reason why people are so disdained by Sexyy Red. Not saying they don't have their own personal reasons, whatever, maybe she F they man, whatever. But the people who are criticizing her for the type of music that she makes, the type of clothes that she wears, the way that she presents herself to the world, girl, get over yourself. Really, what you should be upset about is the people who are generalizing Black people. Don't worry about whether Sexyy Red is representation for Black women. We know that she not. We know that she not. If she represents you, then she represents you. But she don't represent me. I represent me. I'm fake. She's Sexyy Red. So as a Black woman, shut your ass up and just do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, your issue should be with the person who's generalizing Black people, and we cannot control people's perception of us. Kind of going back to respectability politics, it don't matter how stand up we are, it don't matter how properly we speak English, it does not matter. America was not made for us, but it was made by us. It wasn't made for us. It was made by us, but not for us. And so that's why every chance white supremacy got, white supremacy, and I don't say white people. Yes, there were white faces committing those crimes, killing people, hanging people, burning down businesses. Yes, that was the case. But we have to understand how systems impact us psychologically and why people do the things that they do. And that's why I'm addressing Sexyy Red in the way that I'm addressing her. I may not agree with everything that she does in her life. I don't fight over men. So if you fight over a man, that's you. I might fight over a girl, but I'm not fighting over no man. I'm not fighting over no man. And so I don't agree with that, you know? Like that's something I don't agree with, but I'm not finna get on here and be like, Sexyy Red is endangering our children and all this stupid stuff. Girl, raise your kid how you want to raise them, but at the end of the day, they're a person, they're gonna change their mind, they're gonna do what they want to do, regardless if you like it or not. So bye. Look, I already knew I was gonna go off. So that's why I ain't writing nothing down. I didn't even try nothing. Because I already knew that this was gonna be charged for me. And let me just give me a moment to woosah. Because it's a lot out here, y'all. It's a lot out here for us Black women facing these challenges, facing these difficulties, and to have other Black women shaming another Black woman for being herself, regardless of what that looks like, is nasty and ridiculous. And we don't do this to the same degree. We may do it, but not to the same degree as we do the light-skinned girls. They do the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. Where's this energy? Where's this energy for Lotto? She was, what's that song, Big Mama? She was just saying how she whatever she wanted to do sexually, they're all talking about it. Women have the prerogative and the independence and their own mind to behave and act the way that they want to. And if you feel like another woman is representing you, sis, that's your fault. That ain't nobody's fault but yours. So get your dumb ass. Okay. I am so heated. Get your ass out them comments making a fool of yourself. You're shaming the Black community. You're shaming, y'all don't like to see poor people. Poor people don't have the access to the education to have the proper language. Poor people don't have the access to the stores that y'all go buy y'all clothes from and that make y'all look more respectable and more presentable. They don't have access to that. I've been working since I was a 14-year-old girl. I didn't have access to a lot of things. I had to bust my butt to get to where I am. And so and look, I have chest tats. That's not respectable, but it hasn't stopped me. It hasn't stopped me because people judge you based off appearance. They do. But people who are wiser than that have a few more, they use their critical thinking skills. They understand that how you present is not who you are. So, Lord, what age are y'all living in? What books have y'all read? Like it's so frustrating. Can anybody share this frustration with me? Because it really is. And I'm not trying to judge nobody for their standards, how they want to live their life, but don't try to push that on other people. Sexyy Red is not saying you need to do this as a Black woman. Is she saying that? No. But y'all, you need to do this as a Black woman because you're representing. She's not representing nothing. She's representing herself. And like I said, anybody with any type of logic and critical thinking understands that. And if they don't, that has nothing to do with Black people. It has nothing to do with Black people. White supremacy is the system that is going to run on its own, regardless of how we present, regardless of how we talk. When are y'all going to learn? It's not working. It's not working. It's only working for a small few that want to continue to perpetuate white supremacy. And another thing before I leave that I want to say about poverty, Black people aren't the only ones poverty stricken. And I think it's funny that, like when we see white people, when we say, they hood, they invited to the barbecue, they're a hood white person. 9 times out of 10, if that white person is just not putting on that aesthetic and you can tell that it's genuine, they grew up around Black people in the hood. And that's the culture. And so hood mentality, ghetto culture is not Black culture. It's poverty. But Black culture does influence the type of poverty and the culture that builds for someone like Sexyy Red. But poverty is something that every ethnicity, every race experiences. And it's just like white people. They trash. They call them trailer trash. Those white people, they do the same thing. Oh, they're a disgrace. They need to be more respectable. They need to da-da-da-da-da. I rest my case. I hope all of that made sense because I feel like I just went off. I caught a few people dumb. I'm sorry, okay? I don't mean it. I just get a little heated when I feel like people are coming for my Black girls because I feel like, leave us alone. Damn. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Leave me alone. Can I just be me? Can I just be happy? Can I just be doing my thing, doing my dance, and minding my business? Can I shake my ass without y'all having something to say, saying I'm not being respectful? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not what you need me to be. But be what you need you to be for you and mind your business on everybody else. How about that? If you're new here, I'm not always like this. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But that was my opinion. I'm all prepared for people to slam me in the comments, if that even happens. But yeah, I just want to be left alone. Like, let me wear my bonnet outside, Monique. Tyler Perry, shut up. Like, stop making horrible movies. Like, this is Black political thought? Dr. Umar is Black political thought? What? He's preaching Black supremacy, which is not an answer to white supremacy. If y'all want another video about my ideas about Blackness and Black people in America, let me know. The video's getting kind of long, and I need to go chill and relax myself. But this has been Face Philosophy. If you enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, comment, go off on me, tell me I'm stupid, tell me I'm wrong. Cool, great, all dandy. Tell me how I can be better and more respectable. Please let me know. I would love to hear it. Oh my God, I'm hilarious. But yeah, thanks for watching, and thank you for agreeing or disagreeing. But you watched, because that's all you could do. So y'all have a good day.